I was just looking through it and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'll go through it. So good evening, and we're working on worksheets for lesson 3.1 and 3.2, or any worksheet that students want to come live and work on. I will record the best I can of those conversations. And I thought we'd first just kind of go through the project unit 3. I'm going to share my screen here. Can you all see my JCC screen? My JetNet screen? Okay,
Yes.
so under today's date, oh, that's interesting that it didn't show up that way. Let me just change this to see if it changes the view. Oh, it didn't. Very cool. Interesting. I'm going to open that up. It says unit project part 1 data gathering. I just didn't mark this and I wanted that to show. You'll see that there are, I wanted it to show right on the main page. So there are five parts to the project. The first part is part 1, which is all the data gathering. So I'm going to kind of go through that. It's due this Sunday. It should not take you long to do. Students, a couple of them did it this morning on the during while they're working after they did their worksheets. So you're going to make a copy of this. It's data gathering on 4 things. So the first thing you're going to data gather is you're going to go to any website if you want that searches for a car. You don't have to go to this one. I just need to know what car is maybe your dream car or the next car you're looking at buying. I want a picture of it in here. And then you're going to tell me the make, model, and the year of the vehicle, and then the price of the vehicle. So you can go to any car purchasing website you'd like to go to. Task 2 is finding your dream home. I've had students pick homes all over, which is super fun because I love looking at homes. So this is just Zillow. You can go to realtor.com and the other real estate website you'd like to, and cut and paste the screenshot or whatever of the home that you want to purchase. I just need to know what is the purchase price of the home. Now in Zillow, it will tell me that, but make sure it's.
I just did that for real though.
Oh, you're buying a new home?
2 years ago, we just moved into this house, and I would call that our dream house. And I still pull up the Zillow listing to show pictures.
Oh, to show pictures, like to show other people? Or
yeah,
you like
of my house, because it was built in about 1860-ish.
Oh, cool.
And so I'm like, a guy at work always teases me because I have a carriage house.
Ooh.
I don't have a garage.
Tell me, we'll look it up here in just a minute.
It doesn't look like much. Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah. So task 3 is you're going to let me know the career, what you want to be when you grow up. So you need to let me know that. And let me know the salary. So if they give you a salary, that should be an annual income. If they give you hourly, you need to let me know that. And then task 4 for this Sunday is assume I'm giving you $25,000 to invest in some kind of a stock, and you're not paying any brokerage fees. So I just need to know what stock you choose, and then the price of the stock on the first day. That would be whenever you make this in the next week. You can use the stock that you use in Unit 2 if you want, or you can choose a new stock if you'd like. So this is just all the data gathering. So when you go back out to the JetNet, task 1 that's due on the 14th of November is all about buying a car. And then the task that's due on the 21st is all about the house buying. Task that's due on the 28th, the weekend of Thanksgiving, which you don't want to wait, you want to get going on that, is all about how to find the taxes on what you're going to be, your dream job, what your taxes would be, and you're going to figure out what your take-home pay is going to be. That's always exciting. And then the last task, which is due on Sunday, December 5th, is the stock task. And those are all listed right here. All the links to all of the Google Docs with all the descriptions are all right here in JetNet. And then there is an upload link on every Sunday for the next 5 Sundays for those pieces of the projects. Okay, so I thought watching the videos ahead of time and coming to class and asking questions about the worksheets would maybe free up some of your time to work on the projects. And you can come any Tuesday or Thursday and ask any worksheet question. It doesn't have to be just the one that you just watched. So you can come and ask me any worksheet question. as you're moving along.
Awesome.
Again, if you have a question. What's your question, hon?
So like when you asked us if we would rather like do our work or like watch the video beforehand and then come in, do the worksheet, are we doing that for now on?
That's kind of what I'm planning on. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
That's okay. Have you
Yep.
watched any of the videos yet? I'm just curious if they went okay.
Yeah, I watched the one for 3.2.
The compound interest and that went okay going through with my video?
Yep.
Oh, awesome. Okay. And that's, you're feeling like that's gonna be okay, just like when you were doing it in class with me?
On my for the most part, yeah, but I feel like in class I don't know.
It's better live or it's better recorded? I'm not offended, Carter.
I don't know. I feel like it's good both ways, to be honest. So
Okay, I'm not offended if you're like, I'd rather go through it, because if you want to come on Tuesday, Thursday and do the live and work through the workbook, you can totally do that. I'm happy to kind of go through that with you and answer questions. So if you want to do that. Also a reminder for everyone that's watching this video, and Carter and Sandy as well, when you're watching my YouTube videos, you can slow them down and there's a button that you can press to go half speed if you want. You can pause them, you can go back and rewatch. So that's the kind of the nice thing about the video is if you kind of come up with a question, you're like, what was that again? You can just kind of, rewind and go back and watch it a couple times if you'd like.
okay.
So you might end up finding that that's nice that you can do that.
There was a question I did have though on the workbook.
Sure.
I wasn't sure how you found number 272, number 7. I wasn't sure how you like plug that into Desmos.
Oh, how I put that into Desmos?
Yeah.
So sure, let's. Get my Desmos pulled up here. Always wants to put in my project. So I'm just going to pull up my workbook for you. He just had a question, Sandy, on page 272 on how I did this in Desmos.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to write notes along because I'm like, I know I'll forget.
You don't have to do this in Desmos, and I'm not going to ask you, to do some kind of a table on the final exam or anything, but it's kind of nice to be able to replicate things without having to do it on your calculator by hand over and over again. So, is it blurry or is it just me?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks okay.
So column 1 is the compounding annually. And so we're going to use that formula that we came up with. This was the $600, right? And then that's 1 plus the rate, which was 5%, so 0.05. And we're not dividing because we're not compounding anything other than once a year. So it's like divided by 1. And then we're raising that to the X1 basically, because I'm going to put years in X1. So I'm going to write it on here and then we'll go to Desmos and I'll show you.
Okay.
And the simple interest was back from lesson 3.1, and that was, so that was A equals P times 1 plus the rate times time inside the parentheses, right? The compounding is A equals P times 1 plus the rate to the time. So this is going to be 601 plus 0.05 times X1 inside the parentheses. So that's the difference there is this one is the exponent is your years, and this one is you're just multiplying by the years. So let's go to, I'm going to share my Desmos screen here. And I'm creating a table. So in X1, I'm just going to put my years 10, 20, and then it kind of knows the pattern, which is nice. And then my Y1, I'm going to go and delete the Y1, and I'm just going to put in the right-hand side of my equation for compounding, which was 600 parentheses 1 plus 0.05 parentheses to the exponent of x1 and let me know if once you're good with that. I don't mind waiting for a little bit here. I'm fast because I've done it a bazillion times.
Can you hear me?
I didn't hear you, Carter. Did you say you're okay?
Wait, can you hear me?
Oh, yep, I can hear you now.
Okay, so for some reason my screen is like showing like just white, like I can't see anything. I can just like hear you talking. So
Oh,
I'll the zoom and then join back.
it's not sharing my screen.
I can see your screen.
Yeah, like my computer's like acting up. Like I can just hear you talking. I can't see anything.
Oh, no. Can
That
you,
stinks.
do you have a cell phone that you can go on?
Can I just like close up like the zoom and then join back?
Yeah, yep, go on out and come back. We'll wait. Very soon. Okay, so I have my first column here with the years 10, 20, 30, 40. Then my second column is the compounding annually piece, which you can't really see the formula very well because it only shows so much. Actually, I'm going to just widen this so that you can see it more. And then the second or the third column is the simple interest. So that's going to be the 600 parentheses 1 plus 0.05 times x1 inside the parentheses. Oops. Are you able to follow on that okay?
Oh,
So you got it duplicated?
oh.
Oh,
For like the purple like equation, whatever,
mm-hmm.
is it 600 parentheses 1 plus 0.05 x parentheses, and then is there like a 1 outside of that?
Nope, the one is x1. So I'm
Oh,
identifying that I'm using column 1.
okay,
Yeah. So it's saying I want to use what's in column 1. I want to use that as my years.
gotcha.
And that purple column is the simple interest. So we definitely make more. After 10 years, it's only $77, but after 20 years, it's almost 400. And then after 40 years, it's about 2.5 times. So I'd be that. Record this. Which one are you doing here?
Number 1.
On 3-2?
Yeah.
The 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then what? E.
Mm-hmm.
The little e, right?
Yep, the little e.
Okay.
And then I put in parentheses for the exponent, 0.0198 times 5.
And it didn't give you anything?
No.
Try it again. You want to share your screen?
Yeah, let me.
Yeah, you share your screen.
There.
Oh, I think because you have the comma.
Oh,
The
good
12,000.
catch, Carter.
Oh, thank you.
And you know what I learned? If where it does the exclamation mark, because there's an issue in the blue there.
Uh-huh.
I think if you put the, see, okay, go click on that. I think it tells you what's going on.
Oh,
It's kind of
point
nice.
to,
Mhm.
although that doesn't really help explain that part.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It thinks you're putting in a coordinate point.
In this case, but all right, well, that makes sense. Thank you. I'm like, I don't understand why it's not giving me anything.
You got it.
I also have a question on number 1. So the equation, would I just use the A equals P, like parentheses 1 plus 1 over X?
Let me bring it up. So on a 3.2 worksheet.
Yeah.
You on the savings account, this first one here.
Yep.
What? You said you had what?
Would I usually like the interest compound continuously equation, which is like A equals P parentheses 1 plus 1 over like U.
Oh, you know what? So that's where I think a lot of students are mistaking that. I tried to make it clear that they're just basically this thing that I put into my video is just trying to build the idea of the fact that this thing, this 1 plus 1 over U to the U, it's going
That
to
is
be
what
really,
E
really
is.
close to this 2.718 number. So here is the actual formula that you're going to use for the compounding continuous. So this E, when you type it, like I just showed from what Sandy was asking, that E,
Excuse
when
me.
you type it into Desmos, it's going to be a italicized E, and that's to let us know that it's using this 2.718, and it's actually a bunch of decimals, infinite. It's an irrational number, it's an infinite number of decimals. It's using those in the background.
Okay.
Yeah. But so this
Thank
is
you.
the one you're going to use for continuous compounding. I'm glad we cleared that up. Someone from the morning, Stephen was asking about that this morning. So you're going to use this one right here. And make
then-
sure, sorry, make sure the rate times the time, that multiplication is done in parentheses up here in the exponent, or it won't do it correctly.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you have another question, Sandy?
So like the next one, it's compounded monthly. So am I gonna go ahead and just do 12 times 5 times?
On a monthly. So the formula that you're using, right? And it's
The
gonna,
A, yeah, the same formula.
oh, but it's not compounding continuously anymore.
Oh,
So yeah,
Got
so
it.
monthly, we're gonna use the compounding.
yep. Let me go back.
Yep, somebody gonna tell me that and we can fill it in.
So that's gonna be the A equals P plus, or parentheses 1 plus RT.
So 1 plus R, but wait, is that the one?
And then the
where-
T is the exponent.
So.
Oh, but I need to do the divide, the R over N and the
Right.
NT.
Right,
Keep talking
Because-
myself through it.
that's okay, that's, the compounding monthly is what helps, or is what, why we need the N.
All right, so now it's 12,000. 1 plus, let's say the R is 0, 1. Oh, no, 218. Over 12. And then 12 times 5, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I want to check on something, you guys can keep working. Sharing what?
All right, so. Plus 0.0218. All right.
For the first one, I know she's not here, but hopefully you can help me. How do you
Yeah.
how do you know like which numbers to plug in for the letters?
I keep reminding myself rate is the interest rate and that you always hear interest rate.
Mhm.
So that's the one thing I help. And then P, I just, yeah, it's always the principal. So that's like the big number. So it's the big letter, it's the big number.
Yeah.
So then T leads us down to the time.
All right. Thank you.
And since it says years at the top, that's what I keep looking up at. So that I do like underline those things so I can see them and it helps me remember.
All right.
Who is calling? That's nobody. All right. Let's see here. BRD. 0, 3, 2. Times 5. Okay, that's not right. Duh, 1. That's what I forgot. That's not right. That's not right. What is that? Oh. Okay, that's more sense.
You doing okay, Carter? Any questions? I'm happy to, I'm not holding anything back if anybody.
Yeah, so for number one, are we using that answer to fill in like the A for number two?
So, so A is what we're trying to find, right? It's asking us to find, well, it's asking us to decide which investment is better. So how would we compare all of these investments? I guess is the overarching question, right? What do we need to do for each of them? Just to compare them?
Okay,
So the only interest that we know how to find is simple interest. Well, it's just, yeah, simple interest, PRT, right? I equals PRT. So we can't really, I don't know how to find just the interest for a compounding continuously or just the interest for monthly. I do know how to find the future value of each. And once I know the future value after my 5 years is out, then I could compare, right, on letter D where it says which is better. So that's what I would do, is find the future value. And each of these are different, right? Because compounding continuously, I'm going to use this formula to find the future value, where A is my future value.
okay,
And then compounding monthly, I have to use this formula because I've got this N, which is the number of times I'm compounding per year. And then simple interest, we have the other formula, right?
yeah.
So I'm not sure if I answered your question. So obviously you have to fill in the numbers here, but I'm trying to give people help with with that. Did I answer your question about using the?
Yeah, I think you did.
Okay, so we're trying to solve for A in each of these pieces here. And then once we find A, the future value for continuous compounding, monthly compounding, and simple interest, then we can decide which one is a better investment.
Okay, well then on that, you said we're solving like each one for A. So I asked if we're like, for my answer for number one, A equals something. Do I just leave that there and I don't fill it in for the B, A?
No, because A is just what our value is going to be at the end of 5 years, and A is going to be different because I'm going to use this formula with this information, right, for compounding continuously. So what this turns out to be, this A is going to be different than what this A turns out to be.
Okay,
Because on this A, I'm using, it's like a recipe. So I'm using the right-hand side as my recipe for future value using compounding continuously. And in B, the right-hand side here is my recipe of how I'm going to find my future value for A when I'm compounding monthly with 2.18%. And then in
all right.
C, we have to go back to the formula. So do we have the formula for future value for simple interest? We'll
That makes
we'll need that too.
So for N, would I just say one? Because it's the number of times that interest is compounded per year, and it's only a month, or like monthly.
So monthly, so if I compound monthly, how many times a year would that happen then? If I'm gonna compound every month?
Oh, 12.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then do I put the N and T in parentheses also?
Yep, so those should be in parentheses because otherwise they will not get multiplied correctly. What the heck? What the heck? I didn't even know I had sound on.
Okay.
Did it get their pieces to the formulas okay?
Yeah, I think so.
What was that?
I just want to make sure you're getting the pieces to your formulas okay.
No, I think so.
So
All right.
the question just
24 hours, 365 days.
yeah, so it says calculate, number 3 is asking you to do the the effective rate, which we learned in this lesson. And when you have compounding hourly, so you need to find out N, how many times are you compounding a year if you're compounding every hour? I could have done.
Oh, but this seems like, oh wait, loan rate. Let's see.
Go for C on the first one. I'm using I equals PRT.
So if you do that, you're coming up with interest, right?
Yeah.
So how are you going to compare with just the interest on C with total values on A and B? So maybe you want to, maybe on C, you'd want to also find the future value since that's what you did on A and B.
Okay.
Because interest is just going to give you what you made. It's not going to also include your original investment, right?
So would I use A equals P plus I or A equals?
You could do that. Yeah. You could do P
Okay.
plus I. Since you, and you already know that I is really just PRT. So yep, you could kind of think of it either of those ways. Good job. Yeah.
Different. Where'd that go? So for effective rate, your answer is just going to be in a decimal.
After you subtract one, yeah, yes.
Okay. Making sure I'm not like trying to convert that to the percent or something.
Well, it's the decimal, and then I turn it into a percent so that I can kind of interpret it better, but yeah.
Oh, okay. That would just not be very good loan rate if you're borrowing money, if a compounded hourly. You'd be paying a lot of money.
If you're borrowing it, right? No.
Yeah.
Definitely only if you're investing it. Yeah.
Yes. Investing, pretty good.
Investing, much better.
So I said for D that investment B was a better choice.
You said which one?
Investment B.
Okay. And what made you choose that?
Well, you ended like with the most amount of money, and the
That would be enough for me.
compound rate was like, I guess, better because like monthly versus like the continuous.
Sounds good. You said you're getting the most on B.
Yeah.
What did you get for each of yours?
I
Like
was gonna,
answers.
yeah, because I didn't get B for personally.
I might have calculated something wrong, but for the A, I got like 239,164,445 and 26.
Let's see. Do you have your Desmos pulled up, Carter?
Yeah.
Can you
I
share
have
your
it open.
Desmos?
Yeah.
Then we can kind of see. I think maybe you're typing something in incorrectly.
Um,
Oh, I gotta stop sharing my screen. Sorry. That may help.
It's always something.
Yep. Okay. Let him share his. Okay, so
there we go.
let's see. Started with, oh, you know why? Because our interest rate has to be in decimal form. So on that top one, you have 1.98. That's in percent form, right? So what do we have to do to?
Okay.
So that's that issue. Oh, and then it would be the similar issue on the second one with your interest rate of 2.18. And a similar issue with your
The 3.2 also.
yep, with your simple interest as well. Yep. Well, that's an easy fix.
Kind of like a comma that shouldn't be there.
Yeah. So I agree with both of those now. And then you'll just need to change your bottom one so it reflects the 1920 instead of 192,000.
I was gonna ask like why I was getting such big numbers, but
That's okay. Now,
I did not get that answer for C.
you didn't?
Mm-mm.
I did.
I was doing the P parentheses 1 plus R parentheses T. That's the formula I used.
Oh, you know what? It's 1 plus. So let me, can I share my screen now, Carter? Excuse me.
yeah.
So when you do that one, like parentheses, 1 plus whatever your interest rate is, 0.032.
And this is, yeah.
So your T has to be here.
Oh,
Otherwise, it's multiplying it afterward.
I was wondering why simple interest was such a great.
So it is maybe the best choice, right?
Right, but
Yours is
my
a
value
lot
was
better.
considerably more. It was more like 14,000 something. So
Okay, that would make sense. Okay, I got Carter's issue figured out, so that's good. The real key is that you're learning something. And in your respiratory health, when you get into that program, you're going to have to do all kinds of formulas.
Yeah, it's a good thing I enjoy math.
It is a good thing.
My kids always thought it was funny because I said, there's always a right answer.
Exactly.
So that's good. But yeah, let's see. So now what did I have? Oh, 5. Duh. So now, okay, so this.